Hey, I'm Amy Shark, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
Hanging out here with Amy Shark in LA. In LA. Like
Crazy.
the last few months have been insane, and from what I've heard, the times that you've been in LA, you've been busy.
Really busy, but I take it in. I take it in every second, so
Right.
it's cool. I prefer to be busy.
So prior to this crazy success that's going on right now, what was your hustle like as you were pursuing music, and how did that really shape you into the madness that you're living right now?
No, dude, I don't think you have enough battery power to go from the very beginning. But yeah, it's definitely been a hustle. Like I've been writing music and doing this for a little bit.
Yeah.
But everything like sort of when it happens, it happens. So it happened very quickly for me. So I played catch up very quick. But now, like I got to quit my job and now I'm just musician full time, so it's
Yeah.
cool.
And, I mean, what's that? I mean, that's something that I, as a host, like that's what I dream. Like I hope to get to that opportunity where I'm like, all right, job, I got to go. Like I'm pursuing
Yeah.
this full time. So how did that really like happen for you? Like that day that you were gonna quit that job?
I just got all my stuff and tipped my desk up and said, beat it. Nah, I actually really liked my job. Like I was a video editor.
Yeah.
So I loved it and I didn't want to give it away. And actually when I was on tour before I signed management or to a record label, I went on this baby tour with some bands and I was still cutting on the road. Like I was still working and
Yeah.
sending Dropbox links and stuff like that. It was stupid. So then I signed management and they were like, yeah, your job's got to go. So I was like, okay, but I got to do a lot of more cooler things. So
Right.
it's awesome.
I would have had the label like go to your job and be like, I'm sorry, she's
She's not
a
coming
legit,
back.
she's legit, so she's not coming back.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea. But yeah, like I still miss everyone at my old job, and
Yeah.
it's weird for them to see me
I bet.
on TV and in America, and it's weird.
I bet. Now, the crazy thing is that I've seen so many people like Tom DeLonge, Brian Logan Dales, Justin Hartley, like they're supporting you. They're in love with your music. Like, have they reached out to you to maybe give you some advice of what this like life in the stardom is like?
Well, I'm actually having dinner with Tom.
Oh my gosh, I gotta go. Oh my
Couple of
goodness.
days. So him and his whole like crew.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fun. Just talk to him about how he writes like the most epic songs of
Right.
my childhood. So but yeah, so that's awesome. And I'm a big fan of Lena Dunham as well, and she's reached out a little bit, and has liked a lot of the songs as well. So I don't know, it's a head spin, man. Like
That's insane.
I keep reading over these emails from these people and these Twitter messages, and I'm just like, are you sure it's the right? Is it the person, like, or is this just like a fake account or something?
Right.
But yeah, it's very surreal.
I'm still stuck on you're having dinner with Tom DeLonge in a couple of days.
Man, me too. Like me too. I'm just trying to like work on my hi, I'm Amy. Hi, hi.
Can someone film that first that first impression? Because I feel like you're just gonna wild out.
Oh man, I'm gonna probably have a blowout, and it's gonna be the biggest disaster ever. But I'm really looking forward to it.
That's gonna be awesome. Now, Adore comes out, and then how did RCA get involved? Did they reach out to you? Did you reach out? How did that really work?
Yeah, so I pretty early on it came out, and then I was in New York like before I knew it, and I was meeting with people, and I met a guy from RCA, and we got along really well, and obviously he was pretty keen to get to know me, but then I had to go back to Australia and sort of pump it up in my own country because it was very fresh at that stage. So I was pretty busy, and then I signed management, and I'm lucky that my managers are based here. So I said to them, look, this is what you do. I'm put all my faith in them, and they were like,
Right.
look, this is the right fit for you. And then I came over a couple of months ago and met everyone in the team, and it was awesome. It was just a really good vibe, and everyone's so on board and positive. So
Right.
yeah, felt good.
It's a quick turnaround how things like really happen for you though, even though you've been in the game for quite some time.
Yeah, well, I mean, like to be an Australian artist, to have an American record label sign you it's such a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's such a big deal. So I'm really, really grateful.
No, I remember the excitement. I have a band from Australia, good friends of mine, Tonight Alive. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah.
And I remember that excitement when they first got signed here in the States.
Oh man, like that band, like I saw them, I was like in high school, I think, and they were playing like in car parks and
Yeah.
like real, like they were punk rock, like
Man.
yeah, they're doing great. Like they're amazing. I've been a fan of them as well for ages, and I remember when they were breaking through America.
Yeah.
They had like the Spider-Man song or something.
Yeah.
They got that sort of song, and I was like, these guys are blowing up. Like it's massive. Yeah, it's cool.
Now let's talk a little bit about Night Thinker. Is that when you really like? I mean, the title, is that because like that's when you really like focus on your music? Is that because of, I mean, before this kind of life, like your crazy schedule? So I mean, I would assume you would work with your music at night.
Yeah, like Night Thinker. Yeah, you're right. A lot of my writing was at night. Like I was working a full-time job, and then I would play cover gigs every now and then to just be able to afford to go and record my own music. And yeah, like pretty like late at night is the time where I would be like kind of alone and like could really, I never really sit down and know what I'm gonna write.
Right.
Like I just let it happen, and that's it's like a drug. It's super addictive because it's like, well, I don't know what I'm going to come out with today. Like
Just
it's like it's in there. Like it's a memory or it's something I obviously felt for someone or about someone. But yeah, that's what's awesome about it. Like I just let it happen, and some days I'm like, wow, I'm so excited about this song. Like, so yeah, I'm really excited about like because I'm obviously very proud of Night Thinker. But I'm sort of always writing, so now I'm like, I want the album. I want to get back in the studio.
Exactly.
So, but Night Thinker is my best body of work, and that's like I honestly couldn't be more proud of that EP.
Now, as far as producers, did you go with anyone in particular that you've worked with in the past, like for this EP, or is this all on your own?
So this EP, I worked with Dan Hume, who did Weekends and actually everything apart from Blood Brothers and Deleted.
Okay.
And we have a great sort of connection. We work very quickly together. He sort of knows that gritty pop sound that I like. I went back with Phases, who produced Adore. And he did Blood Brothers, which is like such a big, it's such a big song. Like it's just, I'm so happy with how that turned out. And Edwin White, who produces a lot of Vance Joy's stuff, was perfect for Deleted because he just knows that sound. He knows those snares really well. He knows like those bass drops and that luscious sort of vocal and acoustic guitar sounds.
Now tell me more about Wrong Girl featuring All Day. I really enjoy that track. And I like the way that your voices go hand in hand. But I want to know about that song in particular. Like, how did that creative process go? How did you connect with All Day?
So sorry, that song was produced by Cam Bluff. He was the fourth sort of producer on the EP.
Okay.
And yeah, that was a funny one because like it's called Worst Girl.
What did I say? Wrong Girl?
Yeah,
Damn.
close enough. And I've been a fan of All Day for ages. Like, I've listened to his early EPs, and he's just got a really smooth sounding rap voice. Like I love Aussie hip hop. Like I am a fan of it, but sometimes I don't know. Like it's All Day sounds American. Like he sounds smooth. It's easy on my ear. So yeah, I just reached out and said, hey, like I've got a song, like, and he'd obviously was starting to hear my music, so I wasn't just a random, and he was keen. And then I went and met him in Melbourne. We drove around his car for like an hour, just spoke about crap, and then played in the song. He's like, I really like it, and I was like, okay, well, here's the bit where you would do your thing, and I really think I can hear you singing this verse, and then we went in the studio, and Cam did his thing, and it's just sounds awesome.
Cool. Is that your first time collaborating with someone?
Yeah, definitely. Have never really co-written with anyone yet, but I trust Tom as a rapper, and I didn't have any say in that. I was like, you go and do your thing. Like, I know you're gonna crush it. So, yeah.
Now, one of the things that I'm slowly starting to understand for me, as well as like, for example, with my career, like before I would want certain artists interviews and I would kind of be bothered when they wouldn't happen, right?
Yeah. But
then now I'm starting to understand, like, okay, it wasn't the right time, it wasn't the right place, I wasn't ready for it. So is it safe to say that you could say the same about your writing if you tried to reach out to a label maybe 3 or 4 years ago?
Oh, 100%. Like I think everything's happened at the best possible time that it could.
Right.
Because you're right. Like there was songs. I've always been confident as a songwriter, but I've learnt so much in the production world, and even just how to craft a song together and you know, structure it, and I'm so much better at editing words that you don't need, you know what I mean, like just using those crucial words and not sort of having this word vomit in songs, which I used to do a lot. Like I used to just use it as a, because it was therapy for me. It was just like therapeutic. So I wasn't thinking about, is this going to be a hit, or is this going to be, it was like, this is what I'm trying to, you know, go through. So, you know, over time I've been able to still use it as therapy, but I can make it sound really like an actual song, you know, and people connect with it. And so, yeah, like I think that it's all happened at the right time, because I think now is my time.
And like you mentioned, making an actual song, that kind of goes hand in hand with Weekends, because the guitar chords for that is something like simple, but you've created such a masterpiece out of it. So how did you go about something like that?
Yeah, that's a funny song, because like it's like I was obviously it's a warm up. Like the scale that I play is it's like a typical guitar warm up. So it's funny, like people that play guitar always hear it and go, "Oh, it's so simple," like, you know. But I was trying to write a song for that guitar bit like 5 years ago, and I had a whole song to it, but it just wasn't, you know when a song's good enough to go the extra mile with, and I was like, I'm not really feeling it. So yeah, I didn't touch it for like 5 years, and then one day I just started playing it, and it just all made sense, and the chorus was there when I needed it to be there, the bridge was there when I needed it to be there, and it was done in like 10-15 minutes. So it was like it was a good day. Like I get so excited, I'm just like, oh, this is it's honestly, it's the best feeling ever.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, when I first saw you perform it live, I'm slowly trying to pick up the guitar. But when I first saw you perform it live, I was like, wait a minute, anything is possible. Like, that's awesome. So you definitely inspired me.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Oh, man. It's like that's what I've learned. I'm like, I watch people, really good guitarists, and I'm like, man, I'm just not that good. I'm a really average guitar player. But what I am good at is turning something very simple into, so if it's like a simple guitar bit, I'll try and think of like the most obscure way that you could sing to that guitar bit with it being with it still making sense. You know, that's what I like to challenge myself on. And then I'll be like, then this real big gritty hip hop beat's going to come in, and then we're going to put this weird sort of keys in at this point, and then, you know, that's what I do. That's what I love doing. I could just live in a studio. Right.
Now, speaking of hip hop, you have been playing or covering one of Eminem's songs, Superman, and you've quoted that to be one of your favorite songs. Yeah. What is it about that song that you know sticks out to you the most? And I mean, the fans out there have been loving it. I've been looking at it online, and they've actually asked for an actual recorded version of that.
Yeah, it's funny because people come up to me and they're like, "Oh man, that was great, that Eminem song," and I'm like, "Did you like any of my songs? Like, any of those okay?" But no, it's like, it's so fun to play. And I remember the first time I heard that song, I'd snuck into a club because I was underage, and I got into this club, and when that Superman song came on with that guitar and then that beat just drops in, I was like, what is, and Eminem was sort of like new. I was like new because I was like really into punk and indie music. And then when I heard that song, I just like was hip hop. I was just like, you know, so into like Dre and like just everything, Notorious, and so that song, you know, it's just a good song. It's just great. I mean, all his songs are great, but yeah, that song in particular is just mean.
Right. So that was technically your first experience with hip hop.
Pretty much. Yeah. And now I'm just like all over it. So it's weird because when I talk to producers, I'm like, yeah, so this is the demo, and it's like a cute little, you know, ballad on guitar, and then I'm like, yeah, but then I want to do this with it, and they're like, okay, all right, but it works sometimes.
So moving forward with new music, like, do you see yourself collaborating more with hip hop artists? I know there's artists like ZZ Ward. She loves to work with hip hop artists, but what about yourself?
I'm keen to do whatever feels right, and you know, if the vibe's right, and if the, you know, there's a song there that needs to come out, like I'm open for anything. And I definitely like what I did with All Day. Like I'm definitely interested in that. Right. Yeah, for sure.
Now, right now you're in your North American tour, which I hear has been going great. And then at the end of the year, you're out with Sia.
I know.
Can you believe that?
No, I just can't believe it at all. Yeah, that's gonna be a big deal. So I mean, she's our queen at home. So I was even just like shocked when I was told she was playing, let alone I could be opening for the night. So yeah, that was one of those phone calls where I was like, Amy, sit down. This is a big one. So yeah, it's really exciting.
Now, lastly, for those music fans that haven't heard of Amy Shark yet, what is so different about you, and why should they go ahead and check you out if they haven't already heard Adore or Weekend?
Oh, these questions are hard because I'm so self-deprecating. Try and think of something good to say.
Just curve it.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think like I just tell it sort of how it is. I'm not glossy. I'm not plastic. I'm just sort of like my songs are just who I am and what I've done, and you know, they're just, I find that everyone is feeling the same and it's connecting with people because it's honest. So you know, I tend to talk a little bit. I tell stories about my songs, which sometimes I get told off because I talk too much at shows. But it's half is because I'm super excited and I'm kind of nervous. But then I want, my songs are so personal and so intense that I feel like people just need to know like why I wrote it and you know the purpose behind it. So yeah, I think definitely come. You know, I need to sell more tickets, so just come.
I mean, she's going to dinner with Tom DeLonge.
Dinner with Tom DeLonge.
That's legit.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and do what she did with Eminem and like sneak into that dinner. So that's it for now, guys. This is Amy Shark, Rob here with Front Row Live Entertainment. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, click that subscribe button.